We will be looking at our Grade 7 Week 13 math review. In this video we will be examining Day 1, Monday, and Day 2, Tuesday. The first set of problems say simplify the fractions. In this case we're simply looking for a number that will divide both the numerator and the denominator. For instance, 24 over 52. Asking myself, what number will go into both 24 and 52? Well, 4 will. 4 will divide into 24 6 times. 4 will divide into 52 13 times. So 24 over 52 is equal to 6 over 13. We simply divided by 4 in the numerator and the denominator. I think you should be able to handle the rest of these simplifying by fraction problems. Alright, the next set says write the ordered pair for each point on the coordinate grid. I'm going to do a few of these with you. We call this part of the coordinate plane the first quadrant. Then the second quadrant, the third quadrant, and the fourth quadrant. I'm going to look at one point in each quadrant. Point A, it is 1, 2, 3, 4 units to the right and 1, 2 units up. We say A is 4, 2. The first point is the X, the second is the Y. The X is responsible for horizontal movements, right and left. The Y is responsible for vertical movements, up and down. So A is 4, 2. We will come to A and enter in 4, 2. Notice that the first quadrant is positive X and positive Y. Okay, now looking at a second quadrant point, I'm going to examine point X over here. Well, this time we move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units left, thus it's a negative 5. 1, 2, 3 units up. X is negative 5, positive 3. X is negative 5, positive 3. All points in the second quadrant have a negative X value and a positive Y value. Okay, quadrant 3. What will be the nature of these points? Well, it's a left movement and a down movement. So quadrant 3 will be negative, then negative. How about quadrant 4? It is a right movement and down. Quadrant 4 will be positive, then negative. As you work problems, as you find problems B, T, and H, make sure they're of this form, negative, negative. G, N, and C, make sure they're positive, then negative. Okay, on to Day 2. Alright, Day 2 involves operation on integers. We have some multiplication, some division, some add and subtract. Remember, when multiplying or dividing, if the signs are same, the result is positive. If the signs are different, the result is negative. For instance, negative 3 times positive 6 is a negative 18. It's a negative times a positive. However, negative 46 divided negative 2, since the signs are the same, the result here is a positive. 46 divided 2 is 23. Negative divided negative is positive. Alright, when subtracting, we will employ our keep, change, change. Keep the first sign the same. Change my addition to a subtraction. Change the sign of the second term. So negative 18 minus 15 is the same as negative 18 plus negative 15. Well, negative 18 and negative 15 is a negative 33. When adding, if the signs are the same, simply sum the numbers and keep the sign the same. Contrast that with this one, negative 3 minus negative 6, keep, change, change. Now we have negative 3 plus positive 6. When the signs are different, we subtract the numbers. 6 minus 3 is 3. do we have more positives or more negatives? We have more positive, so the result should be positive. When the signs are different, subtract the numbers, keep the sign of the number with the larger absolute value. That is, are there more positives or negatives? In this case, more positives. All right. Next group of problems says solve each inequality and draw a number line to represent the solution. Well, this is just like we've done before. We're solving for y. What does that mean? It means to get y by itself. So in this case, y minus 23, we should add 23 to both sides. I'm going to come over here so we have a little more room. Y minus 23 is less than 6. Adding 23 to both sides cancels my subtract 23 and leaves y. 6 plus 23 is 29. The inequality we simply preserve, leave it facing the same direction. So we have y is less than 29. Now we want to draw a number line to represent the solution. When I draw this number line, I'm not going to draw 29 dashes to indicate that it's at 29. I'm going to show 0, and then I'm going to show my number of interest. In this case, 29 would be to the right. Well, I want to graph y values less than 29. If my variable is on the left, the inequality will simply point in the direction of the shading. That is, I'm going to put an empty circle on 29 because we want y less than 29, and I'm going to shade in this direction. All right. Our number line is indicating that we want all values less than 29. We have an empty circle on 29 because we can't actually be 29. If it were equal to 29, I would shade that value. This should help you complete Monday and Tuesday. There will be a separate video for Wednesday and Thursday.